pesto. Meat.
Where's the dish?
Go.
Sorted.
Today, we are testing the highest rated spaghetti carbonaras from the world's most popular recipe websites. We're going to do this proper as well. We're going to compare everything, we'll taste everything, and we'll let you know our thoughts at the end. So we have ourselves a chef in the building. As a home cook, I reckon I cook carbonara, or my version of a carbonara, the wrong way, at least twice a month. You?
I think I cook it the right way twice a decade.
Oh, okay. So our first website is the world's most popular recipe website, which I'd never heard of until today, Cookpad.com. So Cookpad.com has 101.6 million monthly viewers.
That's a lot.
And all their recipes are user-generated, uploaded from around the world, and we're viewing them here by the most highly ranked.
This person is from Tuscany.
I mean, that's
They're
pretty
cooking
legit.
a recipe from an Italian.
Right, first up, ingredients. There aren't many.
Spaghetti, guanciale, eggs, olive oil, pepper and cheese. And it's pecorino romano.
Okay, which, if I'm right in saying, is what is I always heard as the most traditional cheese.
I think, yeah, that's the right one.
Oh, step one, boil some water.
Yep.
Large pan of water to a boil, yes. Step two, cut the guanciale.
Into small slices. I'm going to take that as maybe like down the middle and then into like kind of almost julienne.
Well, in my head, I thought you were making pancetta. You're making more of a thin slice like that.
Yeah, that's what I have in my head when it asks me to do that. It's not cubes.
No.
It's not like cubed pancetta.
Because guanciale is, when you look at it, it's mostly fat.
Do you know what, Barry? There's a photo.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think
you're
that's
right,
lame.
you're right.
Wrong
We're
with this.
looking for 120 grams of guanciale.
This has been weighed out for us. So this
Has it?
is the exact amount. And the pasta's also been weighed out for us. So we just need to weigh out the cheese.
Okay.
Cut the guanciale into small slices and cook in a skillet without oil. Add a little oil if you prefer. Cook until the fat turns translucent and slightly crispy, but do not let it dry out.
Okay. Okay.
Next step. Beat the eggs in a bowl, then add black pepper and pecorino romano cheese to taste.
How many eggs, sir?
4 eggs. Interesting that we don't have the pasta on yet.
Yeah, I thought I'd usually get the pasta on, and then this bit would happen whilst it's cooking. You can see why you don't need to add oil, because look at the fat that's come off that.
You can see it translucent as well.
Yeah.
So it's probably almost there. So it doesn't specify how much pecorino to add.
What do you mean? No, it must do.
To taste.
To taste.
Which, I don't know, that's a hard one. I'd always specify a quantity there.
Because if you add too much, it turns more into a gloop than a sauce.
Yeah, so if you're grating it over the top of a dish, sure, do it to taste.
Yeah.
If it's integral to the sauce of the dish, I'm not sure I'd go to taste. How much are we going to go for?
I think
I'd be generous.
I'd match it. I'd go 50-50.
Really?
In like volume, not necessarily weight.
It's a lot of eggs.
So then when the water boils, add salt, not too much as guanciale is salty, and add the spaghetti. And the next one, once the pasta is cooked, drain it and add it to the skillet with the guanciale. So I need to work out when I think the guanciale is done, take it off the heat and wait for the pasta. Like that.
So I've added less
I might take that off
salt
the heat
than I might
now,
usually.
because I want it to be a little bit crispy.
I think that's good, yeah.
Well, I'm guessing that's going to go into here once the pasta's in.
Sometimes with carbonara, I will actually add this bit into here.
To temper.
To temper it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the way you do it at home then, if you say you do it properly?
To be fair, pretty similar to this.
Yeah?
Not much difference.
Well, I think I make this, but if I haven't got the ingredient in, I'll just use something similar.
Yeah, I use pancetta.
Yeah, I'll use pancetta, and I probably use more yolk. We're pretty much at the end of the recipe, in that all we have to do now is toss everything together for a minute, then add your 2 generous tablespoons of pasta cooking water.
Which it didn't tell you to reserve.
Oh, it doesn't tell you to do that bit. So you have to.
But we will. We'll do
reading
that.
ahead is
Yeah.
a key here.
So a little problem that I have is that I'd have the pasta cooking and then I'd be doing this bit.
Yeah.
You want to add the pasta while it's hot and then you want to take it off the heat. So it cools slightly, but you still need that residual heat to cook the eggs through. Whereas now you've taken that off, it's gonna have to go back on the heat. Like there's just an extra couple of steps and it doesn't tell you to put it back on the heat. And also the ingredients list is not in the right order because the ingredients list should be in the order of what you use the ingredients in.
There's a distinct difference from chefs and recipe writers.
Yes.
Where do you sit?
Recipe writer. Once the pasta has cooked, drain it and add it to the skillet with the guanciale. So toss everything together for a minute, then add 2 generous tablespoons of pasta cooking water, turn off the heat to avoid scrambling the eggs, and add the beaten eggs.
Also, the water gives you more security, more safety, a safety net. Slightly, it is scrambling, James. It's too soon. It was too soon.
Toss.
You toss, I stir. You toss, toss. Yeah, good. It's good.
Oh, it didn't say toss though, did it?
Didn't say toss, no. Okay, good. We've got a few catchy bits, but that's okay, I think.
It says without too many lumps, not without. So I'm assuming maybe the person who wrote the recipe also gets some lumps.
Serve immediately!
Get a plate!
With extra black pepper and cheese!
More cheese!
That is a good-looking spaghetti carbonara.
Between us, we didn't have too many issues with the recipe, but if you have no idea how to cook a carbonara, that might prove an issue. And we had an issue at the end because I think, you were stirring, but it needed like that.
I feel like carbonara,
but it doesn't specify it.
It's one of those recipes it's good to practice.
Yeah.
Like anything, you won't get it right first time, but once you've done it once, you'll know how to fill in the gaps. Like dive in, turn, it's going to taste delicious, but don't share too much information because we need your notes and rating later on as we compare all of them.
Oh, it's going to be a reveal.
That's all about the guanciale.
Yeah, it really is.
I feel like everything on that plate is to help complement the meat and make that sing and soak up all that flavour.
And it's clinging to the pasta. Yeah. Like it's saucy, but it's really clinging to the pasta. It's nice.
We'll both take notes. We'll reveal our ratings later on. Don't eat all of that because we've got another 2 more dishes to make now. One was okay. Another carbonara, a new website. This time, Allrecipes, the second most popular recipe website in the world with 86 million views a month.
I've heard of this one.
I think the one we're doing has over 2,000 ratings. This looks very different. Oh, it's definitely American. They're using stupid measurements.
Pound.
Who has a pound of spaghetti? Okay, so ingredients-wise, what have we got?
Right, it's a long list this time. Spaghetti.
A pound of.
Olive oil. Bacon. Onion. Garlic. White wine. Eggs. Parmesan. Black pepper. Parsley. More parmesan.
Hey, it all sounds delicious, but I'm pretty certain that's not been written by an Italian.
I kind of wondered if there was like a regional difference and maybe some regions use garlic.
Straight away, these steps come with photos.
Bring a large pot of lightly salted water to a boil. We've done that. Cook spaghetti in boiling water, stirring occasionally until tender yet firm to the bite. About 12 minutes, so it gives a time.
This is what we wanted though. We did want to get the spaghetti on early so we can crack on anything else.
We did, however, I would like a meanwhile.
Yes, a meanwhile will be useful. It's wine and cycling. We also encourage people to clear down as they're cooking as well. Because that's never mentioned in recipes.
Or meanwhile.
Meanwhile. Timer check.
I'm going to time 12 minutes. And we've got something ready for it to go on.
Oh, so that's on a baking tray. That's on a plastic tray.
That's getting it tossed with olive oil. Place diced bacon in a large skillet over a medium heat. Cook and stir until evenly browned for about 10 minutes. Drain the bacon on paper towels, reserving 2 tablespoons of the fat. So this is already quite a lot more complicated, I think.
Yeah.
Big difference from the last recipe. All the prep is in the ingredient list.
Yep.
So it's assuming that you've diced the bacon already. It's assuming that you've chopped the onion, minced the garlic. So we can probably do that now. So I'm gonna chop some garlic and an onion.
That's pretty much, now that's gone in, that's pretty much the same time as when the pasta is going to be ready. That's in for 12 minutes, this is in for 10 minutes.
Yep, well, we are cooking the onion until translucent. No time on that. So that's going to be 10 minutes.
That's ready
until translucent. Another minute. And then we add wine, which is another minute. And then we add the bacon back with the spaghetti, and then we do the carbonara.
Oh, I'm okay with the idea of doing one thing at a time, doing that thing well, holding it back, and adding it at the end. I don't mind that.
I'm gonna beat the eggs, because again, that's specified in the ingredients list. It's not in the method.
As a recipe developer, how often do you look at these types of websites?
I take a lot of inspiration from websites as opposed to books, just because it's slightly easier to search for exactly what you're looking for.
But you're basically coming with ideas, you're never actually cooking from them.
No, it's similar to this actually, taking the best ideas that I see from those different websites, trying to come up with something new and different and hopefully better.
Pasta has had 10 minutes.
Mate, the pasta has had 12 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
The bacon has had 10 minutes.
Okay, pasta has had 12 minutes. It then says throw this onto a tray or somewhere.
It actually doesn't. It just says toss in olive oil, but it has
a
photo of a tray.
Do you know what the photo says? That's
so
weird, isn't it?
you've got that, and then you should have some olive oil.
And now they're translucent. It was a garlic. For a minute.
Plenty of colour on them. Add 1 tablespoon olive oil to bacon fat in the skillet. Add chopped onion and cook over a medium heat until the onion is translucent. Add minced garlic and cook until fragrant, about 1 minute. Add wine and cook for a minute more.
I can go in with the wine.
1/4 cup, so 60 ml-ish. Return cooked bacon to the skillet. Add cooked spaghetti. Toss to coat and heat through.
So this is replacing the guanciale fat. It's not at all, but it's the wet bit so far.
I think, well, you're adding flavour, you're adding some sweetness, you're adding a bit of
sharpness,
more flavour.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Still need a big pan.
That's a lot of pasta.
Oh.
And
then cheese.
We're getting cheese in as well.
Quickly add 1/2 cup.
Save a little bit for the garnish. If you're cooking this much carbonara, you've either got to have a huge pan, willing to make a bit of mess, because you really need to agitate it a lot.
Beautifully done. And again, no scramble, we're good.
That's probably like a 30 to 40 minute carbonara recipe.
And then we want to serve warm with some chopped parsley and sprinkle on some extra parmesan.
Lovely.
Right, dive in.
Are we judging whether it's a carbonara or how much we like the recipe?
These are all carbonaras according to the internet.
Thoughts? I'm not sure I want to share them yet.
It's more tangy than I was expecting. I guess that's from the wine.
Really tangy, yeah. Kind of plays well with the cheese. It's a little less creamy than I expected.
I'm gonna be straight with you. I do like it.
It's maybe not necessarily what we think of as a carbonara.
Yep.
That set of ingredients is never going to taste bad, right?
No.
Wine, onion, garlic, egg, cheese, bacon.
I think I've made ones at home like this, similar, but I think I've got there in a much more efficient way.
It felt long.
Yeah.
It felt really long.
I felt like I could have done all of that in the same pan at the same time. Okay, really interesting.
Let's say no more.
Say no more. Let's move on to the next recipe. Now moving on to the final website and the final recipe. This is from SeriousEats.com, which is a very well-respected chefy food website. In fact, they've won multiple awards. The International Association of Culinary Professionals Best Website, James Beard Foundations. Twice. Also, Cush's favourite food website.
It's a very good food website.
Do you use it?
Yeah, if you want to understand how a recipe works or like get the basis of a recipe, it's a great website to start with because they really go in depth in the articles and the recipes are pretty good.
I've seen the website but never use it because the first thing you see when you scroll down to a recipe is a story. A full-blown article, and I'm like, I just want a recipe.
But this is why we like it, because it explains the difference between using a whole egg and egg yolk.
I've only got 20 minutes left to make a recipe.
It
Where's
explains the difference between
recipe?
what cheese to use, whether to use Parmesan or Pecorino. I think they use a mix of both.
But when you get to the very bottom, there is a recipe which we're going to follow now.
It is a recipe. Total time 30 minutes. We started with a 20-minute recipe. We went to a 40-minute recipe. This is a 30-minute recipe. Should we go for it?
Let's do it.
Bring a pot of salted water to a boil.
Happening.
Add pasta and cook, stirring until al dente.
No timings.
No timings, and
just
it also says stirring.
So
which was
no
just
sticking.
me, you stir the entire time.
No.
Right, this is another one where all the prep happens in the ingredients. So we need diced guanciale, we need 2 large eggs plus 6 yolks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be a creamy one. And then we need grated pecorino, 1/4 cup, grated parmigiano, 1/4 cup, and then we're prepped. So while this is cooking, we can get prepped.
This is written by Daniel Gritzer, who is the editorial director of Serious Eats. First one written by a chef. And as a chef who writes recipes, that's important, right?
There's a lot to be said for crowdsourcing, because the best recipes rise to the top, but it is nice to trust the source.
He's a former food editor for Food and Wine and has cooked in New York restaurants.
We've got a meanwhile.
We have a meanwhile. Combine guanciale or pancetta with 2 tablespoons, after the pasta.
Guanciale and 2 tablespoons of oil.
Yeah. And lastly, get stirring frequently over medium heat, which is about 7 minutes, it says.
2 tablespoons of oil. This feels like a lot. This is a lot.
Right? Eggs in here. I don't know why yet, but I feel like this is an important thing to use. This specifies metal heat-proof mixing bowl. I'm guessing there's going to be heat involved later on. 25 grams of pecorino. It's not even a gram yet. 25 grams of both. All right.
Oh my goodness, this is a serious recipe from Serious Eats. So we've got 50 grams of cheese. We've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil in addition to all the fat coming off the guanciale.
8 yolks.
And 8 yolks.
For how many people? 4.
I'm scared.
For
4 people, yeah.
Why are the 2 cheeses important, you think?
I think there's a big difference between what is called Italian hard cheese and something like Parmigiano Reggiano or Pecorino, right? I think Pecorino is creamier and maybe Parmesan is nuttier. As a chef who is kind of like between a chef and a home cook, I wouldn't necessarily differ between the 2 for carbonara. Pecorino is the tradition because it's slightly creamier.
Pecorino. Oh. Yeah, creamy, really salty.
Really salty.
Not too funky. Oh. Parmesan, so much more rounded. Almost next to it, it's almost sweeter. It's not sweet. Also, both cheeses, DOP, so we know the quality is right up there. And these are the cheeses, the DOP cheeses we've been using across all the recipes. But here, when using so much of it, it's where it needs to be the star of the show. Egg, cheese, black pepper.
Right, I have cooked the guanciale until crisp, about 7 minutes.
Okay.
That's sitting there. You have done the pecorino, parmigiano, black pepper, and egg yolks.
Yep.
Using tongs, transfer the pasta to the skillet. Be sure not to drain the boiling pasta water. I drained it, but I saved it all, so we're good. We're good.
No, you screwed that up.
No,
you
I did
didn't
not.
read it.
I did
you
not
were just
screw
lucky
it up.
there.
I
You
did
were
not
lucky.
screw it up.
You did. You are a
was-
chef. You know.
that
You
was
know
calculated.
better. You know better than that.
Barry, that was
Shame on you.
calculated.
Shame on you. Okay, so you're going in from the water and you're bringing some of that water over into the pan.
You are.
So add your tablespoon of the remaining water. Add some olive oil to the pasta.
More olive oil.
More olive oil.
Surely
Dirty
not.
wine. This isn't too dissimilar from the first recipe. It's just more.
It's yeah.
It's more.
It's turning everything up to 100.
Let it cool slightly. Scrape the pasta, pork, and all the fat into the egg mixture. Hence why I've got a heat-proof bowl.
Right.
Not into there, so therefore, safe zone.
So this is what I would usually do.
Yeah. Then measure 120 ml of pasta cooking water.
Still got that.
Then add it to the egg mixture. Okay, cool.
It's generally quite involved. So they are looking for the best possible version of a recipe.
Yep.
So although it's maybe not the simplest, hopefully it gives the best result. Yeah, shaking.
So more water straight in now, or is it as I cook it out?
Yeah, it's all of it straight in.
And it's that starchy water you need, don't you? The sound only carbonara can make.
This should be giving more heat to it than just using the residual heat in a pan. So that water should actually probably cook out, but it's kind of preventing the egg from scrambling. Like it's almost a foolproof way of doing it. Doesn't say a time, it says set a mixing bowl over the pot of boiling pasta water. Make sure the bottom of the bowl does not touch the water and cook, stirring quickly with tongs until the sauce thickens to a creamy, silky consistency and leaves trails as you stir.
It is doing that, I'd say we're there.
Remove from the heat, season with salt if needed, divide into bowls.
Oh, look how glossy it is.
It does look good. Oh my God.
There's a reason why carbonara is one of the world's most popular recipes, isn't it? I don't think there's any other recipe that is so simple and so satisfying when done right.
When done right.
For me, it's the consistency of that sauce that makes that one so special, in that it's coating every strand of pasta. It's silky, it's luxurious, and it's packed full of fat, therefore flavour.
The cheese is doing so much work there. Like you were commenting on how much cheese there is in there, but you can taste the cheese. You can taste the guanciale. I feel like it's really rounded. Like there's enough salt and pepper in every bite.
Am I right in saying though, the more fat you've got in a dish, the more that can carry the flavour from the guanciale as well?
I guess that's like coating your palate.
Yeah. All right, write some notes up on this, put our ratings together and see what we think of all three. Recipe number 1, the Cookpad Carbonara. For me, it was my favourite written recipe of the 3. I wish it had a few more instructions on the equipment to use. For me, it felt really traditional, but not necessarily the most luxurious, which is what I'm looking for.
Yep.
As a rating, I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Pretty fair. I thought it was a really nice recipe to follow, but I think that's because we're both really quite experienced cooks.
I'm taking it, great.
And I think a less experienced cook might have a few issues with it.
Okay.
Particularly around the end bit where you don't have any room for error when it comes to making that sauce with the eggs. Tasted lovely, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
We're getting proper recipe writer James.
I feel a little bit harsh about that because it was a tasty recipe.
It's great.
And it was so simple.
So combining the two, 7 out of 10. All recipes, absolutely delicious. Actually, as a final result, really liked it. I'm not sure it was worth the hassle. If we'd followed them too closely, there'd have been a lot of waiting around and using too much equipment and making too much mess. As a rating, I'm giving it a 2.
A 2?
2 out of 5.
Oh.
I liked it though, it tastes good, just not worth the faff.
Like you said, I think it's delicious. Is it a carbonara? I don't know. And you're right, it's like a 40-minute recipe and there's a lot of waiting around, and I think recipe writing wise, it could have been slightly cleaner. Can I give a 2.5?
Yeah,
I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I think 2 is quite harsh because we did get a very tasty plate of food out of it.
4.5 out of 10, ain't bad. And finally, Serious Eats. The recipe itself was, I think, as easy as the first one we did, with a few more steps, a few more tips and tricks. Having made it, and now tasted it, and now fallen in love a little bit, I want to go back to the website and read the blooming article.
Oh my goodness.
To work out why it tastes so good.
It was delicious.
I can't fault it. I think that's the perfect carbonara.
Going 5 out of 5.
I'm going 5 out of 5, because I'm going to make that at home.
I think putting my normal hat on, you immediately said there's too much stuff going on before the recipe.
Yeah.
Although the recipe is very clear, if you're looking for a really simple, authentic carbonara recipe, they go into a lot of detail. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5.
Nearly, okay?
I can't give it a perfect score.
9.5, but therefore we have a standout winner. What do you guys think? What makes the perfect carbonara in your eyes? Also, make sure you like this video. We're trying to get 15,000 likes on every single video. We're calling it a streak. Join in and we'll see you in the next one.